Welcome to the fitness podcast Beyond the Workout, featuring your host, Coach E, where we give you health and fitness tips that go beyond the gym and help you along your fitness journey. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. Thank you for your interest in this podcast, Beyond the Workout. As a disclaimer, anything you hear in this show from me, Coach E, Eric Dunston, or any of my guests that is related to health, exercise, nutrition is just that. It's information only. What works specifically for you has to be thoroughly evaluated and checked by a professional, either your physician or a professional personal trainer. Okay, enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to another show of Beyond the Workout. It's me, Coach E. I come to you with an apology. And the reason I'm apologizing because as coaches and trainers, we always encourage our clients to be consistent. Be consistent with your exercise, be consistent with your nutrition. But guess what Coach E is not doing? He's not being consistent with his podcast shows. I was hoping I can give you one or two shows per week or at least two a month, but I've not been consistent. And I should be because I love doing this. I love getting in front of the camera. I love getting my microphone out and just trying to encourage my contemporaries. That's you who are over 50, going on 60 or over 60 or 70 years old, because I don't believe you're over the hill and can't do enough for your body. I believe you can do it. I have confidence in you because that's what I'm trying to do. And so I'm doing this show because I've been doing something with my body. I've been listening to a functional medicine doctor, and I said, I feel like those of you out there who want to take care of yourself, need to take care of yourself, and can take care of yourself, should take care of yourself. Where I work, I go and I fix office equipment along with doing my personal training, trying to encourage you doing podcasts like this. And I'm trying to do another business on top of that. Um, and I see people that actually look like they're suffering, and I'm sure they're suffering. And so I just felt, I, just because you're aged doesn't mean you're it's that's it for you. I really feel like you can add another chapter to your life to feel better, to look better, and be better. And so that's why I came on to do this show today, and to help you think about going forward what you need to do to make progress. Um, because as I'm recording this show, there is about 2.5 months left before the start of the next year. And a lot of people wait until that next year and say, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it at the beginning of the year. Why not start now? And what you're doing, you're starting now to think about getting into the right mindset to taking good care of your health. And the one reason I wanted to do this particular show, because I've been listening to a functional medicine doctor. And when I hear of something that's drastic, or I've tried it and it's making a difference in my life, I don't have to get paid by him, and I don't have to, or them. I love to share it with you. And I was listening to the Mark Hyman Doctor's Pharmacy show, and he's really an advocate for no sugar in your diet, and I've come to learn that that's important, and that's why I wanted to talk about that on this show, plus some other things that I've started doing. And I'll start with the one about sugar, because sugar, they call it the other white powder, the one that's really not good for you. This one isn't good for you either. Because the story I want to tell is my brother. who is a mechanic. He's not a nutritionist. He is not a health practitioner or anything. But what he did is he eliminated sugar out of his diet. And I was amazed that he went to such an extreme that I will never tell a client to do. He would look at the labels of everything he would buy. It could be peanut butter, it could be ketchup, it could be uh, stuff that you would not think would have sugar in it. And if it said less than 1 gram of sugar, he wouldn't buy it. It had to be 0 grams of sugar, and that's what he would consume. So it took a lot of work to find the foods, because here in America, foods are loaded with sugar, and there's probably a lot of hidden sugars there, or things that you might read on a label that are sugar, but they're not telling you it's sugar. Um, so he did that, and he said in about 2 weeks he lost 20 pounds, and his waist went down. Now his wife thought that was a little drastic and that was a little unhealthy, and which it is. It is. It could be mentally unhealthy too, because we shouldn't go to such extremes that we probably can't keep doing sustain for a long period of time. So I do believe it's important to eliminate sugar from your diet, but you don't have to go the route of cold turkey 100%. And the reason I say that, because I've done it. I've eliminated certain foods from my diet and really lowered my sugar intake, and I've seen a big difference. And I'll tell you this story of what I've seen, which was amazing. What happened to me when I was listening to his show, Mark Hyman show, and he had a person on the show that talked about glucose spikes. And my story came from after listening to that show, wondering, what is this glucose spikes, but not knowing the science behind it or details of it, but I know it can have an effect on your body and how you feel. And so the woman on it talked about when you take in something that can become sugar, and that's what I had to share with my brother. You might be eliminating the white powder sugar, or things that are made added sugars, but you might have your potatoes and your rice and your oatmeal that can convert to sugar, and still you're consuming sugar in your diet. So that's why I say don't go to an extreme. But if you had seen some of the pictures I have shared or shown, you might not remember. Who cares about that? But every morning I would eat a small, like, like a measuring bowl, like one of those spice bowls. That's what we're gonna call it. Spice bowls size uh, of oatmeal. I would just put a little bit of oatmeal in that, and I would have it with my eggs and some sausage or bacon, turkey bacon, and just some sausage. And I noticed that after I had that, I would go out, go to work, and I would feel this lightheaded, this dizzy type feeling, like I just really wasn't myself, and I was just had a brain fog, a lack of energy. And just doing that consistently, thinking, having a little oatmeal, some eggs, and I put vegetables in my eggs, and I think, okay, I'm good. And I would eat like every 3 hours, and I felt like, okay, I'm doing good, but I just felt lousy. And so when I heard her talk about this on the podcast, she said when you take in something that changes to sugar, like a carbohydrate, your glucose levels just shoot up, and which could have a strange effect on the body. Now, and this is only for Coach E. I'm talking about Coach E, what happened to me, not what you should do, but it's all about knowing your body. So I said, okay, let me put this to the test. This is a theory I'm going to put to the test. Is this what's happening to me? So I decided I'm a no more oatmeal, no toast, because I would do dry toast as well. No toast, no oatmeal, nothing for my breakfast, nothing like that. And I did it for about 2 to 3 weeks. So, when you eliminate something from your diet, to see if it really is having a strange effect on you, you have to bring it back in. So, about 2 to 3 weeks, I started to feel better. The room had it was less and less this dizzy or spinning feeling. It was not too bad. And so, after about 2 or 3 weeks, I decided I'm going to try breakfast with a piece of dry toast. Now, in dry toast now is just no jam, no butter, and just pop it in a toast to get a nice brown and have it with your breakfast. I like it like that. And so after I did that one day of that dry toast, I was going to work, and boom, the spinning feeling, the fogginess, the brain fog, the zapping of energy, and I'm like, wow, what is happening to me? Why do I feel like? Well, I just had that dry toast. I had a carbohydrate. So ever since then, my breakfast, no more carbs for breakfast. My breakfast just looks like just vegetables with eggs and a piece of meat. That's it. But I have vegetables throughout the day. That's that's my daily intake, and I'll tell you why it's vegetables throughout the day because that was that story of what happened to me years ago. I was actually seeing a functional medicine doctor because I just kept having this feeling like something was going on up here. Just something up here in this brain wasn't working. And I had a lot of tests done. I had a sleep study test done. I had those electrodes put on the brain. I mean, they couldn't find anything wrong with me. They said, "You're fine. You're normal. Nothing is wrong." So I went to this doctor and functional medicine doctor who was actually a chiropractor, and what he did is, he ran these tests on me, and I can't remember what it was. There was years ago, and he found out that my body reacted to rice as an allergen. I had an allergic type reaction to rice. My body thought rice was something that it wasn't, and I can't remember what it was. I just can't remember what it was, but I never stopped eating rice. I never stop until now. Now I have a little bit if I go out to a Mexican restaurant, I'll have it, but I don't have it now when have my home cooked meals. I've stopped rice. I've stopped potatoes. I might get back into sweet potatoes again, but after doing that, that has been a drastic drop in sugar intake because on Dr. Mark Hyman's show, he mentioned that the body does not need these excess starchy carbohydrates. In fact, he says get rid of starch, sugar, because it has an adverse effect on the body. So I said, I'm going to try it. And in fact, I did it and I noticed a difference in my weight, um, my energy levels. I don't feel as tired. And unless I don't get a good night's sleep, I'm still working on the sleep part. But I've noticed less lightheadedness. Uh, Energy levels are good. The body fat is being attacked. That's what I like. So what I do instead is, like I just mentioned, I consume a lot of vegetables throughout the day. In fact, I had to teach myself. I had to want to do this, and I want to tell you that's how you need to do. Just teach yourself to want to do these things to be the best version of you. And what I did is I looked up, just Googled the how to make delicious roasted vegetables. What is it? Give me a recipe, anything. So I found this recipe where this lady mentioned using cruciferous vegetables, your your uh, your broccoli, your cauliflower, and other like your squash and zucchini and mushrooms. Mushrooms are good for you too. And she said drizzle it with olive oil and soak it with balsamic vinegar. And I'm not really a vinegar person, although I have my ACV. I like my ACV apple cider vinegar in my water. I don't do it straight. I put stevia in it to give that sweet. See, I have a sweet tooth, giving it that sweet taste. But when I have foods with vinegar in it, I can't do it. I can't stand it. A little bit here and there, like on my greens, sometimes it's fine, but I couldn't do it. She said this was the best vegetable recipe you can make. The put a lot of balsamic vinegar on it. It will soak into the vegetables. I tasted it on every bite. I said no, I can't do it. So here's the beautiful thing about it. I had to learn what Coach E liked. And that's what I'm going to tell you. Learn what you like. It's called autonomy. And autonomy is doing things the way you need them done for you, but learning it and learning to do it right, especially when it comes to your health. And so I played around with different versions of that recipe, and this is what I came up with. And I'm gonna show you a picture right now. So check out this picture. So this picture has the broccoli on it. It has the portobello mushrooms. It has squash, zucchini, red onion on it, and no balsamic vinegar. I put now I do olive oil and uh, uh, pink Himalayan salt, and the that's the before, and here's the after, right there. And you know when vegetables cook up, they cook and they shrink up, get nice and small. You can put them all in that bowl. Now sometimes I'll do two pans and I'll need two bowls to put it in, and it'll last me 2 weeks. Now, I hope the vegetables are still good. I'm trying to do more organic now because I'll do a organic kale that I'll pressure cook and I'll mix that with it. So here's what I do with that. In the morning for breakfast, my eggs have that vegetable mix in it along with spinach. And then I'll have my protein, piece of sausage, or it could be bacon. I'll have that with it. But the the kicker here is every meal after that, besides snacks, will have those vegetables in it. I'll have I cook it's called a thin cut ribeye steak. I chop that up and put it in a bowl with those vegetables along with the kale. I'll do the same thing for dinner, maybe with a wild salmon instead of more steak. I'm learning to do Brussels sprouts, and it is amazing what has happened with me and my energy levels. And that's why I wanted to come on here and talk to you all about um, about your health, your nutrition, because even though I'm certified in nutrition, there's a lot of things I've missed. Listening to a functional medicine doctor who was a medical doctor, but he realized that the body can take care of itself when it's fed right, fed a good, wholesome diet, can make it amazing, make an amazing difference. And one thing he said on that show is food is medicine. And he said back before that we had all this synthetic medicines and stuff. He said that that's what we used to do. I'm trying to find another quote that I want to share with you. He said that's what we used to do. Um, we would go to our foods to fix the ailments that we had. We mix the foods together to take care of these certain ailments that we had. And why can't we do that now? You know, I'm learning breathing techniques and stuff that I hope to share some of that with you. But I don't even want to come on here and talk too long. I try to keep my podcast around 30 minutes. I look like I'm about to go to about, I don't know, 25 minutes or so. Um, but I'm gonna definitely finish before the 30-minute mark. Because I wanted to come on here and encourage you to consider what I just considered. You don't have to do it exactly like me, Coach E. And if I can tell you to stop anything, I'm going to tell you to stop sugar. I'm not going to tell you to go cold turkey with it, but I'm going to tell you no sugary drinks. Get off of the sodas. Don't do any of the juices. Just stop it. You know, on the weekend, you might can have a little splurge of some sweet, but the cookies, the cakes, the pies, very little. You will survive without that. Because I want you to start now. I want you to start now and don't wait to the coming year. Start now and make smart goals. Because the next video I'm gonna do, and I promise you I'm gonna do another one shortly after this. I'm gonna talk about the scale that I've been using, and when I'm gonna show you a video of when I got the scale and I'm going to mention some of the things. One is it's a few minutes, but I'm going to tell you why it's important to use a scale like that. And so I want to leave you with this other quote. And I love to ramble on these shows because I can. And I hope you continue to listen to them. And my deaf friends, if you can read the caption, if you're watching this in video format, you're getting the caption portion. But I want you to take this away with you. A beautiful quote that I heard on a podcast. I don't know if it was the same one that that he was on the Mark Hyman show, but this quote said, uh, "Is your body still useful to you?" Wow, is it? You know, do you feel aches and pains? Well, you can get rid of that. You can definitely get rid of that. Do you feel sluggish? Are you carrying weight that you don't want to carry in certain areas? Um, you can do something about that, but you have to start and you have to want to do it. And I believe in you that you can do it because I've done it. I've seen drastic changes when I made this slight adjustment in what my body really does not need, and especially with sugar. And I am a sugarholic. I have a sweet tooth. I can't go a week without having something sweet, but I can definitely tone it down and I can definitely see the difference. So I'll come back. I'll talk to you about this scale and tell you why I got it and what's the benefit of it. And I'm not going to just talk your ear off or my deaf friends, your eyes off. I just wanted to share this with you. And I want to tell you the reason about I don't know if I mentioned it because I have no script here. I'm just talking. The cruciferous vegetables are good for your liver. That's why you want to have your mushrooms, your cauliflower, and your broccoli because your liver has to be taken care of too. So that's like your food is medicine thing, right? So anyway, that's what I wanted to come on here to encourage my contemporaries, those of you over 50, those of you who are under 50, you under in your 30s. If this was encouraging to you, great. You don't want to get older and your body is definitely not useful to you. So go out there and make good choices in life. Think about right now, right this moment, making a difference in your life. If you have to write it down and make what is called a SMART goal. I think SMART goal means it's specific, measurable, attainable, real, and time bound. Huh. I can't believe I remembered that. So that's how you do it. Your SMART goals, start with eliminating sugar. You can do it. It's specific. Eliminate sugar. No, don't totally 100%. It's measurable because you can dial it down to say I'm only have this many grams, and it's attainable. You can do it. You don't have to have sugar, and it's real. You can make it real because you can get rid of the stuff that's that turns into sugar and that is sugar in your cabinets, in your pantry, in your fridge, and it's time bound. Do it right now, and see the difference in 2 to 3 months, and definitely a year from now. All right, that's Coach E. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and say this is good for you. I hope this is good for you. I hope it's encouraging to you, and I enjoy doing it, and I'll try to be more consistent. Take care.